Man, I can sniff out a real estate deal like a hog can sniff out truffles. Before making this video, once again, I read every comment on these videos. Everybody loves these videos because they love reading other people's comments, and I read all your comments. I read all comments, period, actually. But I pay more attention on these than I normally. Well, no, I pay a lot of attention to all the comments. Is that I have to say, like the last video I made on what's going on, is that I got, and people just don't listen, or they might listen to like a few seconds of the video and they think I'm saying something. Please don't ever accuse me of denying, people catching a microscopic bug and getting sick and or perishing. I have never ever implied or even alluded to that in any video. I've never ever said that. No point in time. I never did that. I said 99% or more of what's going on right now has nothing to do with a bug and has everything to do with the government and reset agendas. I never ever denied it. I never even alluded to denying it. So don't ever accuse me of saying something I never said. You can call me fat, bald, and ugly, and all that's pretty much accurate. Well, it's totally accurate. But don't ever, please, I beg of you, don't ever accuse me of saying something I never said, because I've never said or implied that anywhere, not even live stream. So I'm also, too, not a Chicken Little, the sky is falling sort of person. But there's an inescapable reality, and I have my head on a swivel. I really do have my head on a swivel. I love, like a vacuum cleaner, sucking in information from all over the world about what's going on. I'm hearing a lot of contradictory stuff out of Australia. And obviously, this is because of, and I'm only assuming this, if you're from Australia, tell me, that I'm getting contradictory information from Australia because it's one state versus another. I know Victoria, apparently, everybody says bad. But I have a lot of people telling, yeah, everything's back to normal in Australia. Then I get other people, and I verify that these people are really from Australia. They say, oh, this is happening. There's this craziness going on. And there's some specific details of which I can't remember. And two other Australians I verified that were Australians told me that this was true. I'm sorry I can't remember those minor details. It was like a week ago. So I'm getting contradictory information from Australia. They say, everything's fine, it's all back to normal. And other Australians say, no. Bad things are going on, and they give me specific examples. They don't just say roundabout stuff. So maybe you Australians can work that out. It's probably contradictory information due to various states in Australia. So another person from Denmark, two people actually, have confirmed to me, and I don't know the legislation, I tried to find it, that say that in the very near future, I don't know how soon it's going to be, that retailers can reject you if you don't have a jab passport. In other words, you can't, you can't go in a grocery store without a jab passport. I don't know the specifics on that legislation, but the one person I did confirm is in Denmark, told me that. When my buddy was down here, my photography buddy from New Jersey, friend, buddy, pal, we went to a lot of retail places I normally don't go to, including restaurants. I never eat at restaurants, but we went to a lot of restaurants. Every place, just like I reported on a week ago, has help wanted signs. And also, too, there was an issue getting service in many of these places. It's exactly what has been reported. Nobody wants to work. They're all, I guess, sitting in their basement playing video games. It's like, why go to work when you could get money vis-a-vis the government? You could sit on your lazy butt and play video games. Why go to work when I'm getting paid to do nothing? So these places, and that's also, too, a multifaceted manner in which to destroy retail. It's like nobody wants to go to work, destroy you. You can't open because of lockdowns and other BS. That's another perfect way to destroy you. All these regulations where nobody wants to go into your darn retail shop. It's like, I'm not going to go in there and, suffer these brown shirt, little people like that. It's like, I'm just going to order it online. Great, give more money to Amazon. That sounds like a great idea. No. By the way, I can't stand that online site. I never order anything from La Amazon. I can't stand. Why would I ever think of giving more money to that evil place? Now, that's just my opinion that it's evil, but if If you don't know that it's evil, then there might be something wrong with you. Because the help wanted signs are everywhere. There's information, and this is from, it was from Forbes actually, saying that Canada is going to make a jab passport. I'm going to call it a jab passport, you know what I mean. A jab passport to enter the country. Well, so much for ever visiting Canada. I don't know if that's all of Canada. It seems to be. The Forbes indicated not a particular province of Canada, but all of Canada. I posted that outtake of the news from Forbes. I posted that on my Instagram. A lot of Canadians chimed in. They did not disagree that it's valid information. I guess they completely want to destroy tourism. And of course I also hear from a lot of other Canadians that if you've been somewhere, you know, that you may not, they'll lock you down against your will into a disinfection hotel or a quarantine hotel. You have to stay there, and they feed you like jailhouse food. And if you leave, you know, they'll find the living Hades out of it. Well, that sounds like that sounds great. That's all over out there. They had a meeting of Utah recently opened up, but all these lazy teachers, and I can't stand teachers. That's not to say there aren't a couple good teachers. And I know there are a few, but there's not many. Percentage-wise, it's extremely low. Those who can't teach. I mean, there is an upside to this, that parents, tons and tons of people now are homeschooling their kids. Great idea. Hopefully you can do a good job at it. But anything is better than brainwashing and indoctrination. Anything. I mean, I'm autodidact, 99.99% self-taught. You have to have the desire to want to learn stuff. Anyway, there's a meeting of Utah. If Utah opened back up, no more face diapers, yada yada. But there was a meeting of the school board, and you can find the video online. It's happened the past 24 hours. Apparently they're seething mad, but the kids are suffocating, and man, these kids are going to be so traumatized. We're going to have neurotic Nancys for the next endless number of decades. I mean, I keep seeing all these kids all over the place, little bitty 2- and 4-year-olds. I was like, my God, they're going to be neurotic as hell. These kids, talk about they say kids are very malleable. They're very impressionable, as the old saying, and they are extremely impressionable. And you got this little. So, what was your memory of being a 2-year-old? You can see this little shaking kid, shaking like a neurotic chihuahua at the age of 20 or something. It's like, oh yeah, I remember that. What's your earliest memory? Oh, my earliest memory was suffocating wearing a face diaper for 2, 3, God knows how many years. Like, oh yeah. These kids are going to grow up to be like one of those neurotic chihuahuas, that's constantly peeing on itself. That's not funny at all. I don't have any kids, but I mean, all that's going to do is, man, talk about psychology. It's going to be a psychologist and therapist boon time. If you want to make a bunch of money in the next 5 to 20, 30 years, and I have no respect for psychologists and therapists. They're all quacks and fools. But if you wanted to make a lot of money in it, boy, there's a lot of money in that in the upcoming future. By the way, did you know, and my Latin is rusty, I've had 3 years of Latin, but I just thought of this, it popped into my head. Did you know that the Latin word for mask is persona? Persona non grata. I don't know if you know what persona is, the person. So the Latin word for mask is persona. And let's take this a little further. What we're doing is we're depersonalizing humanity. And I've done this psychological experiment. I'll go into a retail store and I'll drop my face diaper just as an experiment. These places that aren't too hardcore fascismo, if you will. Just as an experiment, not to like piss anybody off. And people staring at me like I'm a 3-headed alien. Like, oh my God, I guess they're not, some of them will lip sync it. I mean, their lips are moving. Yeah, I can almost make out what they say. It's like, oh wow, I haven't seen another human face except on the television set, and they haven't seen another human face in like a year and a half. I can see more and more people, walking completely alone down the sidewalk, wearing a face diaper. Why does that bother me? I mean, I don't care what other people do. I don't care what their orientation is. I don't care what they do if it doesn't harm other people. But it is like if you're driving down the road and you see like some, hairy, big, giant, muscle mania sort of dude wearing I don't know, wearing a pink tutu and licking on a giant lollipop. You'd go like, what the hell is that? This is exactly what it's. I mean, I don't care what they do, but I mean, these people are nuts. They're just flat out, crotch out nuts. They're not near anybody. They're not within 1,000,000 miles of anybody. Not literally a million, but I don't say anything to them. I don't care what they do. But I mean, you have to stare at them if you have a half a brain. It's like, what the hell are you doing? If I saw like some 7 foot tall, burly dude, wearing like a super mini pink tutu, and once again, I'm not judging anybody, don't care. Licking on a giant lollipop, walking a hairless cat on a leash. She'd go, what the hell is that? It's just people are just crotch out nuts. They're just flat out fear-mongered. They've been watching. I know what they're watching. They're watching the Commie News Network. They're watching anything. They're like, oh, live in fear. The end is here. It's not funny. And what's really not funny, like I said, these little kids that are going to be traumatized for God knows how many years, probably the rest of their life. Like, their earliest memory was suffocating wearing a face diaper. It's like, what's your earliest memory, Bobby and Sue? Yeah, my earliest memory was suffocating wearing a face diaper for a year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Probably still wearing it. It'd be like 10 years from now, and these kids are so traumatized, they'd be bebopping down the street when it's 90 degrees outside, still traumatized like a shaking chihuahua. One of those little shaking chihuahuas. It's constantly shaking and peeing itself. Walking down the street in the middle of summer when it's 90 degrees outside wearing a face diaper. Man, you want to talk about messing up the next year. You thought your generation was messed up. It's like, man, my generation is normal. People are crazy. What we call this is we call it a psyop, okay? Call it a psyop. And then there'll be like lockdown wave. Who's the new variant? There is being reasonable, logical, and embracing wisdom, and there's living in fear and being a deranged nutbag, okay? Chicken Little, running around like your head's chopped off, deranged, wackadoodle. Let me repeat that word again. Wackadoodle. Nut job. Let me think about this for a second. Psyop. Let me think about it a little bit more. This is not a real pipe, by the way. Yes, it's a psyop. It's a reset agenda psyop. Oh, you sound. I've had a couple people last one of these videos about what's going on. I said, oh, you're turned into a tinfoil hat conspiracy. I was like, give me a break. The only thing I'm doing is I have my head on a swivel and I'm watching everything in 360 degrees, full panorama, high definition, IMAX mode. Yeah. Yeah, it's a psyop. It's a reset psyop. And once again, as I said at the beginning of this video, I never at any point in time ever implied or said or alluded to denying any bug. I never did that. No way, no how. So don't ever, please. If you hate me all you want, I hate you, you're fat, bald, and I don't care. But just don't accuse me of saying something that I never said. Because I never said that. I don't even think that. Don't feel it. Don't allude to it. Nor am I ever telling anybody what to do. I I'm always interested in specific information where you're at in the world, and I read every comment. And I love soaking in information like a vacuum cleaner. Yeah, I definitely do. Man, I had no idea because I don't go to these. I never go to restaurants. My buddy was down here. It's like every place has got help wanted signs out. You could tell they're desperate for help. Everybody's sitting at home on their lazy fat arses, playing video games or watching reruns of Andy Griffith or something like that. They don't want to work. And this is exactly what was predicted. We're just going to... There is nothing more expensive than devaluing a human being's life by telling them, you don't need to work, you're pretty worthless, we don't need you, you sit at home, play video games, eat Cheetos, we'll send you a little paycheck. Yeah, free money. Never ask where the free money comes from, because there ain't no such thing as free. I love it, too. And by love it, I mean laugh my arse off, and think it's deranged. Because it is deranged when we get free health care. This has nothing to do with politics. But let me tell you what, girlfriend. Ain't no such thing, period, as free health care. I'm part Scandinavian, so I could do a little bit of a full frontal on this one. Some Swedish and some Norwegian people. We get free health care. As if remind me again what your taxes are there. The highest in the world, by the way. The highest in the world. If you're paying a bazillion percentage of your income in taxes, and you ain't getting free health care. So all these people sitting on their arse, government paycheck's going to come in. They've devalued you. You have skill. Hopefully you have skills. If you work your butt off and you're sweating and dirty and you take a shower at the end of the day, you've done hard work, you've made other people happy, that is value to your life. Sitting at home, getting a paycheck in the mail from the government is one of the most evil things on earth. Unless, you've been paying in and you're injured or you're retired and decrepit, it's okay. Well, I paid in. I paid $1 bazillion in taxes. It's time for me to retire. I broke my leg or whatever. It's like, okay, I'm collecting unemployment for a little while. That's something different. If you're able-bodied and you have skills, hopefully you do. They devalued your life and they made a bunch of miserable, depressed materialists, sitting at home. It's like, don't go anywhere. Don't do anything. We'll send you a paycheck. That's horrible. It's evil. It's horrible. There's nothing good about it. I don't give a darn what you think. There is absolutely nothing good about it. You're never going to change my mind because I'm 100% right. And if you think opposite, you're 100% wrong. Well, that's what you think. No, it's not what I think. It's a fact. Countless studies have proven that. To give human valuation, you make them, even if they're working hard, it gives a person value. It gives them self-reliance. It gives them all sorts of things that are both beneficial physically and mentally. Obviously, I know I'm in bad physical shape. I'm not bad. I don't drink or smoke or do drugs. I'm obviously fat, but I work 7 days a week. I work a lot. I've been busting my butt this past week. Man, I can't believe how much I've done today. How many emails I've answered, built stuff. You can't see it over here, but anyway. So this is what's going on currently. I love to hear what you have to say. I read every comment. Thanks so much. And yes, let me repeat that once again. PSYOP. Let me actually end it with this. This is Ronald Reagan. The most evil words ever said is, "Hi, we're from the government and we're here to help you. I don't want your damn help. I want to work hard. I don't break the law. I pay my damn taxes. Leave me the hell alone. Go over there and bleep yourself. Yeah, go as far as you can, and when you go there, go a little bit further and bleep yourself. Work hard, pay my taxes, I don't break the law, get lost, piss off, go somewhere else." Not talking to you folks. Yeah, that's me. Like it, don't care. Don't like it, also don't care. That's who I am. It's an American thing. Europeans are like, I don't get it. Europeans don't get it. I am not a person that believes in collectivism. Yeah. Collectivism is good for bees and ants. It ain't good for humans. It is in certain aspects, but ultimately no. And it has nothing to do with politics. That's just as a philosophy of life. Yes. There's no such thing as truth by consensus. Absolutely nothing. Same reason they say too many cooks spoil the stew. It's an old saying. You heard that one before? Thanks so much for watching. Lux Everetus.